and Orex is bringing the heat back into our eyeballs. Is this loser semis or is this winners finals, right? This is winners finals, as the screen says. I should have just looked. So yeah, Orex up against Cannon Red. Cannon Red, one of the two Puffs tonight that I figured would make top 8, but boy, has he made a run.
I know, right? Dude, this top 8's so floaty.
It's very floaty.
Like, it's actually so floaty.
I'm watching Interstellar.
And like, we just saw with like the last one, just such a like aggressive match in the air. And I think that we could definitely see off stage, you know, most of the time Peach is able to get away from stuff off stage, you know, with that float, but I think just Jigglypuff can do so much. But you have to live to get them off stage, you know? At 88, it's just hard.
It's tough. I mean, at this percent, when you know that if Peach puts you into a corner, you could be dead, but you can't take your foot off the gas. I feel like Puff has to stay aggressive, and look at Cannon Red, right? Staying fearless. There's that float you're talking about, and so well positioned from Orex, noticing that Cannon Red had already used a couple jumps, probably won't be able to reach him there.
Yeah, like, and Cannon Red really did try to go out there as far as possible, but, you know, you don't want to SD a Jigglypuff.
Ooh, but don't want to fall into that forward air either, which is funny because Cannon Red was behind him when he did that forward air, and yet he still got hit by it because, surprise, we're playing Smash Brothers. That happens sometimes.
Wacky hitboxes, that's just another day in the life of Orex.
Oh my god, I love the side B right there. Cannon Red's still going to be able to pick up the edge guard, even though Orex tried to hang tight, but this is what we've come to expect from Cannon Red. He believed in Puff from day one, and he has gotten nothing but support for this character.
Definitely. Support from Sakurai himself, getting those buffs to just really push this character into another level.
Dude, it doesn't matter what game you're playing, that up air is so terrifying to see hit, and Sakurai, like you were saying, had to play a little part in making that move as terrifying as it is in this game.
I know, dude. You just get that up air, and you can just convert so much, you know, specifically in arrest. Such a powerful, strong move, and so fast.
Yeah, just immediately coming out, but we don't see Cannon Red pushing the button just yet on that. He's just trying to hang tight, see what he can do without pulling out all the stops here against Orex so far, but maybe coming back to bite him as Orex is playing with the lead, and mostly he's been making a lot of money off of just being able to fight Cannon Red air to air.
Definitely, and also just getting those trades, because most trades that Peach will get with Jigglypuff is going to be in her favor. You know, a lighter character, every percent you get is going to be a little bit closer to knocking him out.
Yeah, Puff can die so early, and we saw, I mean, dying pretty early for a Daisy dash attack, as we saw, you know, at like about 130, and you know, Orex is continuing to compound this lead. Look at how well he's playing around these threat zones of Cannon Red, who just seems to be having a devil of a time getting in on him.
I know, and really not able to get the, you know, pushing the gas as far as possible off stage. Orex isn't biting.
And great coverage on the movement in right there. The back air is so perfectly placed. Orex just a single strong hit away from closing this out, but we do know that it's not over because Cannon Red is playing the character that he's playing.
Oh yeah, just the original comeback mechanic rest. Could really just even it up at any point, or just really just take the game, but he has to get the second stock off now.
Ooh, but coverage from Orex so perfect, not letting Cannon Red mount that comeback every time he tried to get in close to Orex. Like you said, Jace, not afraid to trade out, whether it was in the air or on the ground. As long as Orex was throwing out a hitbox, seemed like he was pretty happy to contest whatever Cannon Red was bringing.
Definitely, and with an extra stock to play with as well, you know, you can get a little bit aggressive. You know, and honestly, those bigger hitboxes, like with forward air, are just so important. Keeping out Jigglypuff and, you know, just trying to steal the stock as soon as possible.
We'll have to see Cannon Red get those stocks off a little bit earlier. This is a phenomenal start for him, and I love that he tried to cover that quick air dodge in with that Nair. And I mean, he basically had it. It was just so perfectly timed from Orex that couldn't do much with it. But I think that this is going to have to be what we see compared to that last game.
Anytime that Orex is on stage, it's danger zone for Smash Puff or for Cannon Red. It's definitely going to be keep Orex from really getting a turnip and converting into you.
Yeah, Turnip is so good at dominating that mid-range game, which normally Puff is so good at, but we really didn't see Orex struggling at any range of game. I mean, it was hard for Cannon Red to establish a rhythm in that game one, and can't get out to the lead here either because, again, man, okay, great recoveries by Orex, but Cannon Red finally pulling the trigger on the big one.
Yep, and he got away with it too. You know, only 90%, not a stop, so, you know, that's a win.
And Orex DIing out of that downer. It'll be interesting to see how Cannon Red finally plays once he's got a lead. Looks like the aggression is not off the table for him, even though that Puff can control the pace of the game. and really stop you from manhandling her. Cannon Red staying close. I can't believe he's staying alive.
Absolutely incredible DI. Still staying alive at 125. I'm pretty sure any strong hit might be able to take it now. Have to be careful.
Definitely one of those aerials which Peach can do so low to the ground. And Cannon Red can't stay too high in the air or else he doesn't even have access to the Peach. But the back air is the pressure.
Oh my god. Dude, it's just that float is so good. And, you know, you would think that Jigglypuff would be able to threaten so much space in the air with all those jumps, but Orex is just using that tool so well. Man, Cannon Red, let's go.
He's doing so well. He's showing you the power of Puff, and with the turnip in hand, can't do the follow-ups he needs, but again, with no rage, that DI coming in clutch for him, and he is looking to make a statement win. He'll have to do it at least with 2 stocks or less remaining, though.
Definitely, and you know, having this lead as Jigglypuff, you can play more defensive. I could see, you know, trying to go around all of Peach's aerials now and playing it relatively safe, but man, the gas is still going.
And this is what there is a little bit of a change in what Cannon Red has done compared to that first stock, where now, when he's the first one to throw out these moves, the pressure is very safe, right? He'll do a down air on shield and then drift out of the threat zone, or he'll just be trying to throw out aerials as he retreats. But Orex right now, 76% on a Puff. If he gets a sweet spot on that up smash, we're going to last stock. But can he? No, cannot make it back.
Finally able to call it out. Like, so many times that didn't work, but was able to get the jump that time and secure the stock with a 2-stock lead over Orex.
Yeah, much less close than the last play. He pushes up the glasses, too. He says, Orex, I'm serious now, buddy.
Yada, yada.
I'm ready to go. Are you?
Yeah. I like to see
it.
Not. Oh, my God. Yeah, he heard you.
He's ready.
This glass ain't thick as you think.
He's ready.
Bro.
He pushes up the glasses again.
Oh, my God.
Cannon Red is ready.
Going into game 3. Great adaptation. Now we're on FD. Orex likes the stage.
Orex does like the stage. Apparently, Cannon Red must like the gourmet race music too. Might not be liking the dot eyes, as 61% is the conversion for Orex straight out of the gate. Good
86,
Lord.
man. Blink and you missed it.
It went from dot eyes to the winky face. I mean, that is serious damage.
I know. And now Cannon Red's at 120. Forward air might be able to take it if he's close to the blast zone.
Oh, no tech. That's going to be a dead Cannon Red, and he knows it too. That is the power of RNG. Of course, Orex still had to hit his conversions, but he didn't have particularly good RNG in those first couple of games. And like you said, those turnips can be a really big deciding factor in this matchup.
Oh, yeah, because I think it's super dangerous if Pup gets like comboed into those like 80-ish%, because, man, you got to just imagine how...
Oh, dead. Right? Oh, no, he has float. That's great resource management by Orex.
Yeah, using that super special tool that Peach and Daisy have to just get out of those sticky landing situations. Oh, it missed.
That was especially good defense there by Cannon Red, recognizing that the turnip was coming out and being able to maneuver out of Orex's threat zone. Still trying to chase him so high up. Now he doesn't have a jump, and while I question the decision-making, it certainly worked out for him.
I know, but oh man, this is especially dangerous.
Cannon Red, oh my god, wait, I saw the Mr. Saturn and I thought Cannon Red was in danger, but Orex went down to an M&M.
I know, that was so close, you know, the wrong shield, bro.
I was expecting one to pop, I was expecting the Puff to disappear, but man, Orex, despite that, still hanging tough, 141, and you can see how the pace has changed now that he's playing with a really solid lead. He's just trying to get as far outside of Cannon Red's threat zone as possible. Often we see vertically, but one whiff, and then he's right there with the back air.
Definitely, and you know, using that float on, like near the ground. You know, we notice the float really isn't in the air whenever he's, you know, holding stage control. It's only when he's recovering that he uses it high.
Now, you don't want Puff to be able to do just that, right? Make up a bunch of space where you don't have the maneuverability. And the pound to open up the stock could have been very, very solid for Cannon Red, but Orex will hang on. Oh, the up air!
That could have been so crazy if he converted off of it.
Definitely not early enough percent, or late enough percent to take the stock, and that was one special turnip to take it out for Orex, who really gets to shore up the defenses now.
Yep, you know, once Puff is at that percent, literally just a blow and the balloon flies away.
Man, hey, you're talking about those really low floats from Orex too. That's so interesting that, you know, any other character, you just kind of try and look for like a dash attack or, you know, maybe a falling up air when you're trying to juggle somebody, but Orex just gets to glide along the ground and have access to these huge aerials.
Oh yeah, and you know, there's not many characters that can really use it as close to the ground. There's so much mix-up that can happen when you're trying to land against Orex, especially in FD. That's why he likes it so much, because you have to land on him. There's no platforms.
No, he gets a phenomenal juggle game, but Cannon Red trying to take advantage of similar. He's trying to use a float of his own with those pounds, but man, Orex has been doing a phenomenal job of getting out of disadvantage, and really the only time that we see Cannon Red when he won that game 2, it was all down to the fact that he was able to pressure Orex in bad situations like off stage, but here, Orex is able to get out scot-free, and that's why he's winning.
Definitely, and I really want to see Cannon Red start to punish those side Bs. You know, most of the time, Orex has been able to get back to the stage relatively quick with that side B, and it's hard to fight it. It comes out and it kills too.
Mm-hmm. He just hasn't been able to give it the perfect challenge. Orex right now challenging him to take him to a Game 5 because it's looking like Game 4 is going to be in Orex's favor.
Especially at these percents, you know, almost full lap in that forward air.
Reached so low and so nicely for Orex, where you see just how dangerous he is when he gets a lead. I think in all 3 of those games, person who took the first stock won, and you can definitely see the difference in how the pace was established and how playing offensively in this matchup is a really tough thing to handle.
Oh yeah, and I fear Orex on FD, man. Like, watching anyone try to land on him, because, you know, with those aerials, you know, going from like, you know, a really low float into nair into like down tilt, like it can either convert, you know, you can have that forward air that covers so much space. Like, catch me banning FD every time.
Yeah, I don't want to be giving him a free juggle game like that. And honestly, he's got a pretty decent juggle game himself here on Hollow Bastion with that center platform and of course the wide open sides. It's going to be Cannon Red's counter pick though. So he's trying to look for what this stage can offer him. And as a Puff, honestly, I can see good coverage coming out when there is not a platform available. But if he doesn't get out to an early lead and if Orex takes stage control, Cannon Red is going to have a devil of a time getting close to him.
Definitely. But he's starting out relatively well, like, you know, even percents right now, I'd say. And it's just any time that Orex gets stage control, it's going to get so much harder. That up smash.
I honestly am shocked that that didn't KO, but Orex will take the damage nonetheless and the advantage state. Cannon Red just doing all that he can to fight for the stage back from Orex, and okay, does at least cover that down tilt afterwards to get a follow-up, but Orex does get the lead.
Yep, such a fast back air out of that float. Ooh, but that dash attack was so close to killing. No way.
This should be an easy edge guard for Cannon Red. Wow, great by him to have the tenacity to just stay right up close to Orex while he had that invincibility and keep the game close too. Now Orex will not be able to go to that crazy defense. Now Cannon Red, what's the punish? Okay, at least he's getting something. He did get some decent damage, and it's tough, right? You usually try to save those shield break setups for later in the stock when you know that you can get a big stock guaranteed follow-up, but that time just didn't really have anything.
Oh yeah, and sometimes you gotta cut your losses. You know, hey, I dropped this shield break punish. Let's just get some good damage.
He got enough to keep it close right now, and this is where Cannon Red, I think, is really dangerous on this stage, is that if he's able to float around this center platform and stop Orex from utilizing any of those crazy oppressive aerials out of float, that's where he's really going to shine. But the problem with that is that Orex is definitely getting a lot of opportunities to pull turnip near the ledge.
Yes, and anytime that he gets that turnip, like we saw last game, just the ability to just throw a relatively good turnip and get that stock around like 100. It's so good.
Ooh! Speaking of getting a stock around 100, Cannon Red almost got it with that dash attack up air to continue the juggle. Air dodge used, he's definitely got it now. That is a huge piece of why that platform seems so good for him, is that he gets those dash attacks as juggles.
Yes, and you know, if you use that dash attack near the ledge, like it will stop at that ledge. It won't go any further, and it's a great way to catch it.
Cannon Red has utilized it to its full potential. It's got a lead now too, but knows that a solid hit from Orex can take this down to last stock, and from there, anything is possible. So maintaining this lead for as long as he can is very important. And like you said, honing in on that side B is very important, and he's getting closer every time. Oh my gosh, there goes the stock.
And we're going to game 5.
Dude, every time Cannon Red has won a game, it's been a 2-stock.
Yeah. It's like when he gets that lead, he's able to hold it and really just force Orex into doing something that just puts him in a bad scenario and able to get him off stage and just pop right out of there in the blast zone. I like to see it. Such good adaptation.
I think it's also really telling to show you just how much harder it is for Orex to leverage offensive pressure of his own, and that a lot of what he's done has come off of Cannon Red making mistakes or being forced to make mistakes, right? Because he's got to approach, and it's just sort of this weird back and forth where neither of these characters has the best offensive pressure just straight up, but they have really, really good options for both defense and counter hit, and that's why you see that lead matter so much. And I think to a point, Cannon Red has a little bit more offensive striking power than Orex does, which is why when Orex gets out to that lead, the games seem a little bit closer.
Definitely. But, you know, Orex also has that incredible wild card of just pulling something incredible out of the ground.
Such as a Stitch,
yeah,
perhaps.
Stitch. And really,
like
I still fear that Mr. Saturn. I feel like that is actually like such a huge thing in this matchup. If we see another one, it could definitely spell a stock.
Yeah, Puff gets her shield broken. As you may know, she does immediately die, and that is what Mr. Saturn is made to do. Orex, go to sleep. It's Betty bye, buddy. And there goes the down smash. Takes the jump, too. That is a dead Orex for sure.
Yep. Nice and easy, going for that coverage on the up B, and he punished the side B finally. I love to see it.
And that's all out of setting up that positioning, too. That's all of the punish game in this matchup for both of these guys. And what great awareness there by Cannon Red to know that he had time to get out that down smash, put Orex in a terrible position off stage, didn't connect the final hit, though. That could have done it.
Definitely. Maybe even with a bit more rage, that could have been definitely the stock with the pop out. But, ooh, that side B is such a good conversion tool.
Yeah, you've really got to be able to, above all else, if Puff is going to be the one going on the offensive, you cannot let yourself be within that pound range because it sets up for the world for her.
Oh, yeah. Such an incredible special move to just convert in anything, even rest.
Yeah. It really gives you whatever you want. Okay, Orex has got a dot eyes in hand, though, so that's damage, and he was looking for a conversion into the side B, but unfortunately too much percent for Cannon Red.
Definitely. That's the upside of being light, is that you do get sent away and get out of combos a lot sooner.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's definitely been actually pretty big for Cannon Red that Orex hasn't had big windows to hit kill confirms into him, and that it's had to be all raw hits, and that's why it's been so hard for Orex to, as you can see there, trying to get in with that forward air, but he just can't get close enough to Cannon Red, who is consistently throwing out enough moves to pressure Orex, but throwing them out at very safe distances, and I love that movement.
I know, and Cannon Red can really threaten that zone, that long zone of the forward air that Peach could throw out with a much faster move, so it can stop it before it even comes out.
Ooh, but you're getting stuffed before you can take that second stock. Orex will at least even up the counts, but yep, one aerial perfectly timed on cue. Cannon Red takes a full stock lead.
Yep, and like at this point, like Orex has to convert as much as he can when he does get in.
Ooh, side B to get away. Down tilt does not get that spike. Cannon Red was off the ground, so there's going to be no big conversion for Orex there. And the overcommit on the dash attack as well. Cannon Red has just not crumbled to anything this game.
He just holding in, trying to get Orex off stage as soon as possible. That up smash. Great anti-air. Finally getting the kill from it. I think that was probably one of the first times he actually got it.
And one of the first times that he's gotten an early kill, which, like you were mentioning, Jace, we've seen a couple of them from Cannon Red. Haven't seen any from Orex yet, and because of that, he is in this game. We're Game 5, last stock, and Orex, it wouldn't be the first time he's made a 2-stock-to-1 comeback tonight, and he's looking to do it again.
Yep, but I know if, you know, Cannon Red does get Orex off stage, it's going to be go time.
That's the whole game plan right now, trying to bait him into the corners, and the only reason that Orex is going into those corners is to pull that turnip. He does use the side B to get back. Roll in! We've seen Cannon Red cover that a couple times, but no punish.
Oh man, but that forward hit that time, any percent that Orex is able to get on Cannon Red is going to be huge.
Sour spot dash attack. Orex barely holding on. He neutral get up rolls again. He's done that like 2 or 3 times. Cannon Red just hasn't found the big punish on it yet.
He tried that up smash. He tried, but it didn't work. Orex is now on the ledge, super scary. Oh, getting the roll.
Straight up roll. Oh, Cannon Red was waiting for the neutral get up into the roll that time. Wanted to keep the pressure on. Oh my gosh, Orex. I can't believe he's holding on.
Gave him the air dodge, but not yet. 67% to 141. A dash attack, maybe even just a straight air could work.
And Orex has been in disadvantage for a solid minute straight, but Cannon Red has just been getting glancing blow after glancing blow. And Orex finally with this one opening, can he hit the clutch hit that he needs?
So close. Any hit. Oh, that nair stopped the forward air.
Ledge trap so scary from Puff. He didn't cover the roll.
It wasn't spaced correctly. Gave it to him, but he didn't get it. This is so close, parry.
But he didn't have the follow-up. One more hit. Jace is all it takes. Orex with the clutch.
I am so sad for Cannon Red. He had that roll.
He had it more than once, but just never had the right positioning. Orex was so good at the ledge, always waiting until just the right moment when Cannon Red started to doubt himself and then found his way back on stage.
Dude, if that up
we all
tilt
know
was
to
turned
fear
around-
Game 5 Orex. We all know to fear him. Fear him!